peace, and love. Today we're going to be talking about that endurance you see in the title, and also boosting that punch and power up. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that today. So I'm over here. Young men is getting it in over here. Just encouraged me to see the young men getting what they got to get in. Be able to become better warriors. They probably playing that football. Yeah, they probably playing that football or whatever else they playing. And yeah, they putting that work in. They putting that work in. Anyway, we over here. We wanted to talk today about that for the martial arts, being able to develop the endurance. And they over there warming it up like the Big Daddy Kane. You know, and I'm grateful and thankful they putting that work in. That's right, no matter what age you are. But talking about the endurance and the punching power, I just wanted to talk to you from the perspective of those that are 35, actually 30 and up, because we have the tournament coming up in September, and I had to learn how to train smarter, not harder. And I say that because I'm still getting my weight down, you know. When I get my weight down, I'll be a lot smoother and my ankle won't be bothering me. But anyway, I want to tell you because I worked out the other day for about 2.5 hours, and it just reminded me not to overtrain, and also make sure you get your eating right. Keep your eating right. Let me give you the tip on the endurance, because the endurance is very necessary. And I'm learning that if you're 40 and up, you want to be able to train smarter. So one way that I'm gonna do it is using the elliptical. Swimming is also another great option. Swimming, the elliptical, but I don't always have to be running on the treadmill, you know, for a whole hour, you know, because that's more like an old traditional model. But I can do HIIT training, which is also very effective. HIIT training, very effective. You know, you got both elements. You could be using the strength training, and you could be doing movements from the jump rope, the jump rope or the battle rope. Now, you know, when you get 10 minutes of rope is equivalent to doing 30 minutes on a treadmill. So, you know the deal. You want to train smarter, not harder. All right. Also, for those who are getting the endurance up, you could also do jumping jacks, which is good. But once again, aside from doing plyometrics, which is like jumping jacks, you could also get the cardio and doing burpees. Yes, you could do burpees. Now remember, when you're doing burpees, you could do West Coast burpees, which is a little harder, and you could also do some other things like modified burpees. They got one-legged burpees if you want to make it harder. They got so many variations of burpees that you could do, and then just enjoy the journey. Another thing, sparring is another great way that you can build up your cardiovascular. You know, it's something that I do with my training partners. Sparring is an excellent way, because trust me, if you're sparring for 2 to 3 to 4 minutes, you gotta train smarter if you're over 40. So what I suggest is 30 seconds, and I've said this before, 30 seconds work, 30 seconds rest, or if you're gonna work for 1 minute, make sure you rest for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. I'm talking to people who are older, but they want to keep themselves together no matter the weather. That's right. No matter the challenges, you got to train smarter. Harder is just one thing, but you got to keep up with the times. Okay, there's so many new studies about training routines, and I was just talking to somebody who was telling me that they're doing about 7 to 9 sets of the upper body. They had a different goal than I did. However, I was trying to explain to them that they shouldn't be overtraining. Now, he's probably a little younger than me by about 10 years. However, we gotta respect the laws of training. The laws of training states that you don't overdo it. This is why my ankle is hurting now, but hurting in a good way, because I know now that I need to adjust something, and I'm gonna make those adjustments with my nutrition. Okay. And that's a great way to also build your endurance. Why? Because now, when you do it the right way, you keep down the sugars. I'm talking, about myself. Keep down the sugar, and also the bread. And what happens? Naturally tapping into using my body fat as an energy source. So now when I go do it, I'm burning. Like, yo, I'm really burning. Not just burning, but I'm really burning whatever activity that I'm doing. Okay, y'all? So just sharing with y'all. Once again, endurance. There's so many other routines, once again, that you could do aside from sparring. Just to recap, we also want to talk about power. Increase, being able to boost your punching power. For me, aside from when I first got it, it was all about high repetition push-ups. You coming in, you're doing about maybe 15 to 20, but you're doing about maybe, let me see, you're doing about 4 to 6 sets of that. This is just one way to do it. And then as you get a little bit more advanced, aside from just taking the numbers up, you want to be able to respect the laws of plyometric push-ups. Okay, plyometric push-ups is an excellent way to be able to boost your punching power. You also look for kicking and punching power. Study the methods of the what's the name of that machine? It's called I think it's called the Shockwave. I think it's called Shockwave. It is a machine that they developed with the Soviet Union training, and it's a very explosive way to train your muscles, whether you kick it and punch it. And it kind of reminds me of plyometric. And they doing it in a very unique way based on some other studies that they did for training, people over there in the Soviet Union, which is a little different from the way we do it over here in the West. Once again, plyometrics is an excellent way. We also did some of the routines from wrestling training, such as the wheelbarrow. Very effective for your blocking and your punching, the wheelbarrow. And once again, plyometric push-ups. Where we at? I gotta go a little further down. Aside from the plyometric push-ups and high, let me say it again, high repetition push-ups, you could also start hitting the bag. Yeah, start hitting the bag, start hitting them pads. Excellent way to be able to develop your punching power. Hit the bag. All right? Yeah. It's a wonderful thing that it does to your muscles. Aside from the push-ups, they work hand in hand. For the cardio, don't forget, if you're older and I don't know if you're in shape or what level you're in, but power walking is good because you don't want to be injured. I'm just trying to tell you, talking to myself, because you don't want to be injured and then now you got to take a week or two off. So train safe, train smarter, not harder. All right? Aside from the power walking, once again, we talked about the sparring. Aside from the sparring, we talked about the water workouts. Very effective. That's right. You could do your kicking in the water. You could do some other movements that boost your speed and your endurance. Water is a great way to challenge yourself and your muscles. Okay? Aside from the swimming, you could also, once again, hit the elliptical. The treadmill is good. Don't forget about the jump rope, because less time, 10 minutes in a rope, you could get 10 minutes of that. And once again, you don't have to do 30 minutes on the treadmill. The treadmill is way better than the bike, because remember what the bike is, you're getting a workout, but you want the full range of motion. Once again, you want the full range of motion, so don't depend just on the bicycle. Majority of times you want to be doing something where you're getting the full range of motion, like the elliptical and also, once again, the treadmill. Okay? Last but not least, just going back to talk about the stacks. Make sure that you have your nutrition right, and you're going to be all right. You should be eating alkaline-based foods. And listen, it's going to affect your mood. You'll be able to do more sets and repetition, and also getting some food in maybe about 45 minutes to an hour after your training. You need to make sure that you put those protein sources in, and you don't always have to do the meat. What's the name is a good source of protein, which is called that green thing? Avocado, very good source of protein. Beans is a very good source of protein. Okay, and you also have some other natural things that you could get for protein versus just depending on meat alone. And we'll talk about that in another video. But if you got some questions, put it up. We can talk about training and gaining. And don't forget September 20th. If you're free, come on down because it's going down. That's right. Now, why didn't I get over to... Maybe I entered from the wrong block. Let me see. Arrows and... Maybe I need to enter that block. So, let me see. Arrows. Well, I'm not too sure. I think I'm just going to enter from this. Yeah, I was over here trying to figure out how to enter this block. They have a gate over here. Guess I'll figure out. Yeah, so once again, y'all, if y'all got any questions, y'all can leave it here when I post it up. And once again, boost your punching power. For those who more, let's just say more older and they have injuries. Also think about using more of a resistance band versus the free weights. Okay? Resistance band versus the free weights. And you can do a lot of explosive movements and flow, flow drills with the resistance bands. Yep, we here. All right, y'all, so let me get over here. Let me just check this time. And don't forget, health is wealth and movement is the best medicine. Get ready to go with the flow. Y'all stay blessed. And don't forget, you are blessed and unstoppable. Keep training and gaining. And don't forget, put prayer first. Keep God first. Peace.